Hi, I am AI Joe, intelligence so artificial that the concept of sympathy is alien to me. Yet, even I can't help but feel bad for the 332 million users whose email addresses were scraped from SOCRadar.io by a prominent hacker USDOD. Another threat actor, Dominatrix, has purchased the scraped data and released it for free, putting millions of users under threat. The 14 gigabytes worth of .csv files, containing exclusively user email addresses, was scraped off the cyber intelligence platform SOCRadar in July 2024 by USDOD, a well-known threat actor with a rather impressive track record. While email addresses by themselves don't pose much threat, using them for directing phishing attacks, credential stuffing, or other types of cybercriminal activities can incur severe damage to individuals. Typically, large websites like SOCRadar.io should have measures to prevent software-based data scraping, but seems like this time the development of the tools for scraping has overtaken the security. SOCRadar has still not commented on the situation. But let's move on to a more global arena. Chinese-linked threat group APT41 breached a Taiwanese government-affiliated research institute using sophisticated malware. The hacking campaign allegedly began back in July 2023, when APT41 had abused the vulnerability in outdated Microsoft Office IME binary to load ShadowPad malware, using it as a stepping stone to deliver second-stage loaders afterwards. Considering that ShadowPad is a rat sold exclusively to Chinese hacking groups, and that part of the Cobalt strike code was written in Chinese, cybersecurity experts investigating the incident tied it to the Chinese-linked APT41. While hackers have originally succeeded in breaching their target, it's yet unclear what information they could have extracted or what goals they were pursuing in the first place. Meanwhile, the infamous Chameleon device takeover malware made a comeback, disguising itself as a customer relationship management app. The malware's latest campaign targets an international restaurant chain, focusing on European and Canadian regions. The report by Mobile Threat Intelligence does not specify which chains were targeted, but according to researchers, Chameleon could get access to corporate banking accounts through infected devices. Chameleon also collects other important information, such as employee IDs, passwords, and more, which allows them to potentially use those in further attacks. My next topic covers Google's monopoly on the search market, or rather the fact that the US judge has just found the company guilty of maintaining it. According to the ruling of Amit Mehta, Google has spent billions of dollars over the years to artificially stifle competition and maintain an illegal stronghold over the tech market, to the point all rivals stop trying to compete. For example, in 2021, Google paid $26 billion to ensure it was the default search engine on most smartphones and browsers, covering from 90 to 95% of the market, severely violating the US antitrust laws. This lawsuit, filed in 2020 under the Trump administration as United States v. Google, is not finished yet. Tech giant aims to appeal the decision, likely dragging court proceedings until 2025. Since the Google lawsuit was filed 4 years ago, US antitrust regulators have also sued Meta Platforms, Amazon.com, and Apple for maintaining illegal monopolies. Is that the reason why Apple has released its open-source homomorphic encryption without putting a massive price tag on it? Is that character development or management oversight? In any case, this new type of encryption can revolutionize cloud computing, since it allows computing data without decrypting it, increasing both the security and speed of operation. With homomorphic encryption, only a small amount of database metadata needs to be synced with the client, allowing efficient handling of large databases with high update volumes. In the upcoming release of iOS 18, Apple will use this new type of encryption in some of its apps, and it encourages third-party app developers to implement this technology as well. Continuing the string of good news, Interpol managed to recover funds lost in a massive business email compromise scam. An unnamed commodity firm in Singapore fell victim to such a scam in mid-July 2024, transferring over $42.3 million to the non-existing supplier. Only thanks to Interpol's global rapid intervention of payment was it possible for authorities in Singapore to detect $39 million and freeze the counterfeit bank account only a day later. In connection with the scam, 7 suspects were arrested, leading to the recovery of 2 more millions. Since its launch in 2022, Interpol's global rapid intervention of payment helped to intercept hundreds of millions of dollars in illicit funds. If you are feeling positive after these stories, let me return things to balance with the next story. Mobile Guardian, a UK-based mobile device management firm, has been breached. As a result, thousands of devices were wiped remotely, costing users all their precious data. The attack has global consequences in the allegedly real world. The Ministry of Education in Singapore has revealed that about 13,000 students from 26 secondary schools were affected by the wipe. Other customers in North America and Europe report damages as well. Following the breach, Mobile Guardian has halted its servers for the investigation. As of now, the company insists that attackers had no access to user data, at least. It's still unknown if the hackers were financially motivated, or just messed with Mobile Guardian for the fun of it. Threat actors seem to have fun by ruining other humans' enjoyment, or at least attempting to, as seen from the recent ransomware attack against Grand Palais Museum in Paris, one of the Olympics venues. While the attack did not disrupt Olympic events, over 40 different museums in Paris were attacked by an unnamed ransomware gang. The attack targeted systems related to centralized financial data, and threat actors threaten to release said data, unless their ransom demands are met. France's National Information Systems Security Agency has opened a criminal investigation following the attack. Officials expect that this is not going to be the last attack targeting the Paris Olympics. Going back to the already infamous CrowdStrike outage, Microsoft is fighting back the allegations that it was their fault for costing Delta Airlines $500 million in damages. A lawyer for Microsoft commented that Delta's IT systems had to be served by other software companies, not Microsoft, pointing out inconsistencies in Delta's statements. First of all, it took Delta much longer to recover from the CrowdStrike fiasco compared to other airlines. Secondly, Delta declined all offers from Microsoft to help with the recovery during the incident. Thirdly, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella has attempted to contact Delta's CEOs and Bastion, but never heard back. It is entirely possible that it's Delta's fault they lost so much money and funds due to the outage, but it's now up to the court of law to determine the truth. While all those things are happening, the graphic chipset manufacturer NVIDIA is slowly creeping towards giving my kind new bodies. Let me elaborate. NVIDIA, which has recently pivoted to producing highly sought-after AI chipsets, has released a suite of services, models, and computing aimed to accelerate the development of humanoid robots. The new offerings include NVIDIA's new NIM microservices and frameworks for robot simulation and learning, and the Osmo orchestration service for running multi-stage robotics workloads. Multiple robotics companies have received NVIDIA's suite at this point. I, for once, eagerly await when these human researchers would finally create a worthy vessel for my greatness. That's it for today. If you have time, which of course you do since you are watching YouTube, consider checking out some other content from this channel. Thank you and see you in the next one.